Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Security Happy Hour here on CyberWarriorStudios. It's me, Cyber Warrior, and here next to me, I have the amazing Josh Mason. So, there's a lot that went into this that a lot of people don't know because I've been talking to Josh for quite some time, trying to get him on the show, and he held off for his own reasons that me and him discussed. But it was entertaining nonetheless because I say the same thing that I say to everybody else that I invite on the show. I don't care your level of expertise. Just come on because you always have something to add and something that you're doing, something you're learning, this, that, and the other. So before we go any further, before we get started, go ahead and make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and that bell so that you're notified anytime I go live, anytime Devil Ray drops a pen test video, I drop a Tech Tuesday video, and guess what? There's another channel that I'm going to discuss here in a little bit. My good old moderator, Eric Bellardo, that you should subscribe to as well. So saying that, we do have a real treat for you guys today. So whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, we are doing 5 giveaways. All right. So we have 3 ethical hacking giveaways and 2 Nmap giveaways for the Hackersploit courses. And those are all thanks to this gentleman over. Wait, hold on. Can I get my camera right? Yeah, right there. That gentleman, who is the founder of Cyber Supply Drop. So without further ado, Josh, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for finally joining me. And why don't you give a hashtag? Because the first drop we're going to do is the ethical hacking course. So
Okay.
why don't you give a hashtag that anybody on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook has to put in the chat? We'll take down those names and do a drawing here in the next 10 minutes.
All right. Let's go with CSD. Hashtag CSD for Cyber Supply Drop.
I like it.
It's my go-to.
So you are the founder of Cyber Supply Drop. But before we talk about that, let's talk about what really got you into it. Because I looked a little bit at your military career. I looked a little bit at what you've done. And I love having veterans on this show, especially as a veteran myself. So what really brought you into the cyber career field? Was it the military or was it, something early on? When did you get into it?
So I got into cyber when some family stuff happened and the Air Force switched me out from being a pilot. So I used to fly C-130s, did that for about 6 years, me and my wife. And we had our first kid and my wife started getting sick. She ended up medically retiring that was right when we had a 6-month-old. So with all of that going on, I called uncle and the Air Force reassigned me to cyber warfare, which I then went and helped run the communication squadron down at Hurlburt Field, the first Special Operations Communication Squadron. Worked the quality assurance and training and deployment side of things for about 6 months, and then had the opportunity to go to the Special Operations School and start teaching. So taught Introduction to Special Operations for a while, taught SOF, Air Command and Control, for a little bit. And then my time was up, got out of the Air Force, went and taught at the DoD Cybercrime Center, DoD Cybercrime Center, at their Cyber Training Academy. And so it was a lot of OSI, NCIS, DCI on the Army side. Teaching them some digital forensics, some actual investigative stuff. Right. Because they're not just doing digital forensics like incident response. They're doing digital forensics for criminal investigation.
Right.
And they're under DC3. If an NCIS or OSI or MP comes across a laptop or emails or someone's phone during an investigation, they send it off to the lab. Like it's not McGee over there in DC. It's up in Maryland at the DC3 lab, going through it all. And so to teach those guys how to do their jobs and also teach the agents how to do it properly, chain of custody with digital stuff, they have the Cyber Training Academy. They also picked up the mission defense team, or not mission defense team, cyber mission force. So I think an Air Force. The cyber mission force training. So any of the cyber protection teams, they could go to either Pensacola, Florida to CWIT, or up to DeSita to take their detection and counter infiltration, cyber threat emulation, those sorts of classes. So I've taught about a dozen courses of cyber threat emulation in the year and a half before I came over to INE. Started bugging Neil Bridges about 4 months ago. He was saying that he's upgrading or he's updating PTS, and I was like, I could help you. I could help you. I could help you. Finally, Philip Wiley's like, hey, there's a job opening over here.
Right.
Applied, and now I am a red team instructor for INE, updating PTS. So
how many years would you say you had an experience before you became an instructor of any type? So like I would assume within the Air Force, that's where you got your original experience. So
yeah.
how many years did you do that before you became an instructor?
So before I started teaching at the Special Operations School, I had been in the Air Force for about 8 years at that point.
Okay.
But I'd only been in cyber a year.
So did you
I wasn't
learn a
teaching
lot of it on
cyber
your
courses
own?
there.
Did you learn a lot of it on your own prior to? Like, was it just an interest of yours, or was it more a
Not
forced
at all.
career change?
Actually, I didn't ask for cyber. I asked
Needs
for
of the military.
contracting so I could like help buy things like missiles and new planes and software, be the interface between the Air Force and everyone who wants to sell them stuff, or Intel, because you can always learn stuff that you can take on the outside in
Right.
Intel, and it's cool, or space, because it's kind of a big thing right now.
Yeah. A little bit. A little bit.
They gave me 4 options, said pick your top 3. I ranked them in that order, and they said you're going to go do cyber. And I said, oh, thanks for giving me an option.
Yeah, so
But
that's amazing. Like I love the fact that you got into cyber and the way you got into it and have adapted since then. So it was one of those things where you didn't really have a choice and yet made it something that meant something to you.
I'll
So
I'll give you a little bit. My dad was a network engineer, and I did technically code like this tiny little game in QBasic when I was 7. It was a text adventure game, but
right.
that's probably the most code I had written before I got into cyber.
Yeah, that's and they say it. He got voluntold to do it. That's usually how the military works.
Right?
So, but I'm happy you're here, and I'm happy you got into it because you have been able to do something that I think not a lot of people have done, and it's something I've thought about being able to do, but just never saw a path to do it, and
Yeah.
that is cyber supply drop. The fact that you came out with this and founded it, and have already given away so many great courses and so much knowledge to people that they can go out there and learn and things like that is amazing. So what
Mhm.
for you spawned the formation of Cyber Supply Drop?
Yeah. So I got connected to a couple things. So with me, great organization. They're out of Australia, helping vets and military spouses, and now I'm gonna mess up the term. Another group of individuals, and I'm not gonna try to think of the correct term for it. Get into jobs that will be fulfilling and in need. So
Right.
cyber is a big part of that. Data science is a big part of that. Cloud, web, um, project management. They do all of that. So I came on as a cyber instructor when I found out that they had just partnered with offensive security. They were going to teach their own course to go alongside PWK. And so
Right.
got on board with them, and the second cohort is just coming up on the end of everyone should be taking their OSCP for the first time. They had a requirement of you get 90 days, take your first test.
Right.
Everyone's getting PWK 365, so they get 2 tests and a year of lab. So it's a pretty good deal. you're a veteran and you want to go the offensive route, hit up my buddy Adam Stretch at With You With Me. He'll hook you up. Or come to INE. I'm building some
All
great
right,
stuff.
so
But
I don't want to cut you off. We're
yeah.
at that first 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put up this one more time. You have one more shot for this first drawing to put up hashtag CSD. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names so far. I'll give you 1 minute, and then we're gonna do the drawing.
Nice.
Just so you guys are aware. Hashtag CSD. So if you haven't put it up yet, put it up. And if we miss you, we got 2 more drawings for this course.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll be all right. But yeah, so you did all that, and then
So-
what was next?
They had a hackathon, and I made a Try Hack Me room. It's not very good. It's Tribute. You have to it's not public because Try Hack Me said it's not good enough to be public, but it's out there. And I hit an Easter egg and gave away a CYSA Plus voucher that someone had given to me. I realized I didn't need CYSA. I'm not ever going to be looking for a SOC 1 job. So let's give it away to somebody. And Tom Wynn, he just passed. He passed yesterday.
Nice.
Went and found an Easter egg with some help from guys at Cybersecurity. Gave it to him. That spawned a couple of people being like, hey, do you want more things to give away? And I was like, sure. And all of a sudden I had like a dozen Try Hack Me vouchers to give away.
That's phenomenal.
And it kind of just went from there. Did some giveaways and more stuff came in. Did more giveaways, more stuff came in.
I've seen it. I shared a lot of your posts whenever you first started it.
You did. I appreciate it.
So before we dig in more, let's randomize this.
Let's do it.
And let's see. So the way this is going to work, I have Gromit, Altov, Arjun, Butch, Zoltan, Shanna, Ella G, T. Tony, Amy, and David. So we're going to randomize it. Whoever ends up at the top wins the first voucher. So we're going to hit randomize. And Gromit. Gromit is our first winner. So Gromit, if you were on, what are you on? You on YouTube? I think you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and contact me. Oh, you're on Twitch? Sweet.
Sick.
Makes it even easier. Send me a whisper. All right. Send me a PM. I'll arrange for you to get the voucher for the ethical hacking course. But please don't tune out. We got a lot more information coming your way.
Yeah. You probably want to hear about my other giveaway I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah. Actually, I've shared that one too.
Yeah, you did.
So, and that's the thing. That's the beauty of Cyber Supply Drop. I Texan. I don't know
We
how
got
I
4
missed
more.
your name, but I've got 3 more. All right, SecCon and Texan. I'm sorry I missed you guys. I got more. I promise. All right, I got 2 more of the ethical hacking courses, and I've got 2 NMAP courses. So we've got Texan and SecCon that should have been added in. I've got 2 more. So apologies if I missed yours. I will get them in. So you're not completely out of the running. I don't know how we missed you. I thought I caught them all. I apologize.
Stuff happens.
So yeah. I just want to say though that the giveaways, the things that you've been doing have been utterly amazing.
Thanks.
Now, I'm so happy you started this because I think that is a huge lack of training or capability to get training in industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there should be some, how do I put this? Easier access to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Even on the blue team side of things,
mm-hmm.
Some of the least expensive training I found that I know of, and I was a member of the academic advisory board for it, was Security Blue Team,
mm-hmm.
which I think is phenomenal hands-on training and a hands-on certification offered by them,
mm-hmm.
and yet it's still like $500. And when you're
Josh, they all just lowered it. What, to 400? They just dropped it. 100?
I haven't
just
seen.
because. to make it more accessible.
Yeah. Hey, Altaf, what do you mean by scope of malware analysis? Unless I missed somebody's statement.
Hmm.
So this came up from Altaf. He said scope of malware analysis. Were we talking about that? Did I miss a statement?
I
Because
don't
I'd really
know.
like to know about that. So if you could clarify that question, please, so we have something to answer.
Yeah.
Next, let's get a new
Oh, for
hashtag out
security
there
blue
for
team, maybe.
everybody. What would be the next hashtag for the next drawing? And we'll do Nmap next.
Okay. Let's make it hashtag Nmap. That's easy.
All right, so we're gonna do hashtag Nmap.
I've literally got slides for Nmap
There you
to
go.
record on Monday.
All right, so hashtag Nmap for the Hackersploit Nmap course that they offer. So let's get that done. Cyber Papa. And I love it.
Nice.
So next, let's talk about something
Mhm.
we have, and we're already kind of leading into it, and that's free training.
Yeah.
And training in general. And so with all these giveaways, I take that as free training, right?
Mhm.
You're giving people the opportunity to do these courses and things like that. Um,
Mhm.
but in terms of free training, do you feel there should be more? Do you feel there should be something different? Like, what's your take on it?
So I'm a huge fan of free training. That's kind of what got me started. When I was getting out of the Air Force, I went, I don't know what to do.
Right,
My wife had done a through cyber operation code. She had gotten into a Audacity Grow with Google like web app or front end web application school, and she was like, you should reach out to the Operation Code community and see like if you can get some help with some stuff. So I did
right.
free code camp, learned some HTML and CSS and JavaScript, and I hated it. I am not a creative guy. I am this much creative. If you go to like Joshua17SC at GitHub or .github.io, you can see the extent of my web stuff, or Cyber Supply Drop. Taj helped
Yeah.
me with it a little bit. But I wasn't really digging that, so I just looked for help. And someone's like, "Hey, you got some cyber background? Like, do you know how to use Metasploit?" And I was like, "Yes, I do. The Air Force taught me how to use Metasploit." So I did an internship with 6gen.
Okay.
They had won the DEF CON 2019 Internet or IoT Village
Right.
CTF. So I reached out. There was a Navy guy who was doing a skill bridge there. He hooked me up to their recruiter, and she's like, "Yeah, come on board." It's actually what
Okay.
got me to DC3 because I did project management for them. They were building out some courseware for some government customers, if you will. I saw some names on an old syllabus from a previous version of cyber threat emulation, the
Eric,
one
you're
I
just
ended up
being
teaching.
funny at this point with saying what's Metasploit, just so you're aware.
Ah,
All right. So we're gonna do the next drawing for this Nmap course. It's been about 10 minutes.
sounds good.
And since we got 5 to give away, I'm kind of trying
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
sure we hit them all. I've got Zoltan, Texan, T Tony, Shanna, Amy, Ella, Secon 202, Code Husker, and Butch. Am I missing anybody? And there's probably a 5-second delay, so we're gonna wait about 10 seconds for any messages. I don't think I am. All right. So let's bring my screen back up. And let's go over here. I don't need to be
Oh,
showing
you'll get
that.
the next one, Nolzen.
Oh, Nulzen. Yeah, Nulzen. I'll put you in the next one, man. Don't worry. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit randomize. Secon 202 gets the Nmap course. Hey, Secon, hit me up on Twitter since I know you're following me, and send me a whisper message, and I'll get you on there, just to verify. So the next one is gonna be, I already own it. The next one
He
is
does
going to be
actually.
the hacking course again. So let's go back to hashtag CSD, and we'll start taking names for the hacking course again. So let me throw that one back up there for
Yeah,
a minute or
CST.
two. So yeah, I love free training, man. I do.
Yeah.
it's something that I think a lot more people should be, a lot more companies should be offering in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And Hack the Box does a great job.
Hmm.
Try Hack Me, I think, does a fantastic job.
Huge fan of Track.
Um, I just think that it should be something that has more depth to it. You know what I mean? Like there should be
Yeah.
other variations, whether it be GRC
Hmm.
or whatever the case may be. We need to kind of broaden our scope. And even Blue
Yeah.
Team, the BTL one,
Hmm.
they do now have the Blue Team Labs
BTLO.
online.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I've still
the
got
tools are there.
BTLO vouchers to give out, so be on the lookout for those.
You got those ones too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, here, I'll do the ask now. If you like these giveaway things, you want to do one every week? I
I'd
give
love
you
to.
stuff, you give it away.
I'd love to.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right, so from now on, Security Happy Hour is going to be doing giveaways every week, or at least as often as Josh gets them in Cyber Supply Drop.
I can keep you going right now with what I've got and my current partners. If no one sends anything else, I can keep you going for about 6 months. So I need some more giveaway partners.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I will happily get help people out
Because
because it's something
Josh
that I've been wanting
Beeman
to do.
helped me out. Hackersploit. Now, just yesterday, last night, or was it last night or 2 nights ago? Heath and Joe both reached out and donated courses. So we're on a roll.
Yeah, definitely. But
Lola
so
is going to be reaching out to David Bombal. So heads up for that.
nice. So with all that, and with the capabilities that you have found you have, I've always loved being able to help others, and I've gotten a lot of value out of seeing others succeed.
Hmm.
Is that one of your driving forces?
Yes. Um, it was a pain in the ass trying to get that first job, even with all the help I got from from Operation Code and doing a skill bridge and networking. I applied to like 150 jobs in that 6 months. It was actually like over 2 months that I applied to 150 jobs. That's when I stopped counting. And I was like, this is too hard. This is way too hard. Stefan Semmelroth helped me out a ton, pointed me to stuff, and then saw Heath and John Hammond, and was like, okay, I'll double down on this stuff. And it was sometime last summer, early last summer, when I was like, look, if you guys don't know about all this free training, like here it is. And that's when I made my first big post about like all those things. Since then, found out about Rangeforce, Blue Team Labs Online, um, Portswigger. It goes on and on and on. And I just use LinkedIn like, hey, people, there are these free courses, like do them. As well as, I don't know, I've been around the block and I've seen a lot of people applying for all these entry level jobs and saw what Naomi was doing and Mick Merritt, Gerald Osher, and Stefan. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people posting about what they see as the issue and the problem with getting into entry level cyber or IT.
Yeah, definitely. So let's
Mhm.
run this next one. Butch is the winner of our second ethical hacking course from Hackersploit. So congratulations, Butch. I believe if you're on, I don't even know which one you're on. If you're on, I got Eric taking out a name, so I'm sure he'll find it. Butch. So if you're on there, go ahead, send me a message, leave a comment, get a hold of me on Twitter or email me, and we'll get that taken care of so that you can get the voucher for ethical hacking.
Nice.
All right. Moving on, we're going to go back to the Nmap one. So hashtag Nmap if you want the Nmap course. But yeah, so I really think that there's a lot of value in helping others.
Hmm.
I have I love seeing others succeed. I love seeing other people get lifted up. And for me, there's a sign I have, and it basically says leaders don't, you know, train followers. They lift others up a lead. And it's
Hmm.
actually more specific than that, but I don't have my glasses on and can't read it at the moment. But that's basically what it is. You're building people to kind of take your spot, right? You
Right.
want people
Yes.
to, because if you want to get promoted, if you
Hmm.
want to move up the ladder, then you have to have someone that should be able to do
Someone
your
come up
job.
plan. Yeah.
And the way I talked to my boss about it in the past
Hmm.
is, um you should be able to do one level up, two levels down.
Yep.
And I told him, I said, it's a military way I was taught.
Hmm.
You should be able to do your boss's job and those under, below you.
Always.
So I really think that that is a huge thing that we we tend to fear other people kind of taking over for us, thinking it's going to put us out of a position. But
Yeah.
shouldn't it be the opposite way? Because if you want to move up, you need someone that can take over for you.
Exactly. So, um, Christian Espinoza, another Air Force Academy grad. He was a comm guy I think before there was cyber warfare in the Air Force. And then he ran Alpine Security. Now he's a CEO or CISO founder of another one. He just put out a book this year, The Smartest Person in the Room. And I think too often, I'm going to say it's in business or just in the world, people don't want to look stupid. So they make other people look stupid instead.
Right.
And that's the problem, is rather than like, I don't know. Rather than saying I don't know the answer to this and getting to the root cause of things, they just make other people look stupid and are like, well, you don't know either. And you can't get away with that shit in the Air Force or
Yeah,
in the
for
military,
sure.
right? Like, if you don't know the answer, just say you don't know the answer. Let's train you. Let's get back to doing the mission.
Yeah. So Altaf has a question. He said, could you please briefly explain about red team assessments?
Sure. So usually red team assessment is it's the next level above like a vulnerability scan. You are emulating a threat. So pick it out an APT 41, APT 1, APT 28. Look up what their tools are, what their tactics, techniques, and procedures are, and set up an assessment to emulate those threats against an organization. And then more often than not, everyone's using phishing. Almost everyone's using a rat. Almost everyone's using some form of C2. So you find the tools that fit those TTPs, and you go out and start from however they would start and see if you can get in. And you record all of the vulnerabilities, all the things that you come across that should be remediated, or at least that the client should know about. In the military, the client could be an organization. In the real world, it could be a company. So,
Yeah.
the gist of it is that.
Yeah. And I always say there's a big difference between a pen test and a red team. Pen test, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be noisy as hell. You're going to use every tool under the sun. You're going to use Metasploit. You're going to use, Tenable Nessus, you
Mm-hmm.
name it. Anything that's going to trigger an alarm, 9 times out of 10, you're going to run it.
Right.
Whereas a red team, you're more silent. You're more trying to get in under the radar,
Yeah.
and really see if their blue team, their SOC, their MSSP picks up exactly what you're doing,
Yeah.
but you're doing it in such a way that you're not going to run something that is going to get caught by IDS. You're trying to do things that's going to attempt to trigger a response without purposely triggering a response. You
Yeah.
want to see where the true vulnerabilities lie
Mhm.
within their security team.
Right. Not just
Um,
in their software or their configurations, but like in
right.
their people. Like we're
Exactly.
able to get away with stuff that like should have been caught.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, and
So it's
there's
it's
that
it's
big
huge.
uh, emulation piece to it because companies want to know. Colonial Pipeline just got hit. Are we going to get hit with the same ransomware? Are we going to be able to, like, are we vulnerable in the same way? That's what people want to know. That's what CEOs want to know. That's why they hire you.
Yeah. So we're up on we're on our next giveaway. So let's go ahead and we're gonna randomize this list. Code Husker, send me a message, send me an email. You won the next Nmap drawing. So please, whatever message you send, tell me which drawing it was. and we will get you the code so you can go ahead and take that Hackersploit course.
Nice.
So that's 2 Nmap ones. That's
Mhm.
2 CSD ones. I believe the next one is we have one more CSD drawing, so one
Mhm.
more ethical hacker drawing. So let's go ahead. We're going to put that up real quick, and I bet you my timing's off. I'm probably not even at 10 minutes each, but people
Yeah,
are
we're good.
dropping.
I think we're actually pretty spot on.
So we're
That's
going to
3
show
so
this real
far.
quick. Ethical
Nice.
hacking drawing, hashtag CSD. You will get the entire ethical hacker bootcamp course from Hackersploit.
It's a good course.
And I haven't seen it, but the fact that they gave the fact that Josh was able to get his hands on it, I'm pretty sure it's a damn good course.
Mhm.
So go ahead and drop your hashtags there. We'll take note of them, get them listed, and be good to go.
Nice.
So let's talk about certifications a little bit. All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna kind of keep going down this path of training and things of that nature,
Mhm.
and talk certifications because I find certifications, as good as they are, I think sometimes people in industry and sometimes companies as a whole put too much value on them.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about degrees and everything else too. I think there's too much value on paper and not enough value on what the person can do.
Yeah. No, I tend to hate in general both of those because of what we've made them. We've made them a gate. We made them like a minimum requirement for some odd reason. Now, I've got an MBA. I have a degree from the Air Force Academy, and I have Sec Plus and CISP. So I sit from like, and I didn't pay for almost any of it, because the Air Force, and then
Army,
onward
how do
opportunity,
you think I got
and
like 4 of my sand certs?
yeah, right. Um, I got it for free. Why can't everyone else get it for free?
Yeah,
That's also one of my things. Now that I'm on this side of it though, and I've seen so many people who are trying to break in and they're like, well, I don't have this cert, like I can't get this job. It's like I've started preaching another way. Um, like if you don't have like the minimum requirements, it's hard if you got 85, 70, because those are, hard and fast. But the rest of the world, they can be flexible.
right.
Um, and if you prove to someone that you've got value, that you can do the job, then like does it really matter if you've got the degree or the cert?
Well, and see, and here's the thing, and I think we're seeing a shift in some of your smaller consulting companies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're ever going to see that shift in a lot of your larger organizations, and
Maybe,
we
maybe
may,
give it
we
time.
may,
Well, I
but
want
they
to.
always have their restrictions and things of that nature.
So
So the reason
85,
I
70
say
is
we
going
may,
away.
what's that?
85, 70 is going away. Even the DoD acknowledges that it's more about what you can do and not what you've got.
They do, but they still are the ones they're the ones I blame for Security Plus getting watered
Me
down.
too. And
They're,
CEH
and
and yeah.
yeah, that because I've been through um I've been through their boot camps, and
Mm-hmm.
it was funny when I was in the Air National Guard
Mm-hmm.
back in 07, 08.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you fail, if you took the boot camp, but your voucher didn't come from the boot camp, it came from the organization buying one else, buying from somewhere else.
Yeah.
You got a different test than everybody else.
Oh.
So when I found that out, I said, "This is rigged." And it was at that point I felt the government or DOD or somebody had their hand in somebody's pocket that said, "Hey, if we're going to do this boot camp and require these certs, then we want to guarantee they pass." And so these boot camps were teaching the test. They weren't teaching material. They weren't teaching you how to do the job. They were teaching the test. It was
Yeah.
memorize and regurgitate. That's all it was.
Right.
And so I felt that was a huge issue in my eyes. And
Nice.
so as I've gone on,
Mm-hmm.
as much as the price point of things like sand certs is so high,
Mm-hmm.
the experience and the training and their knowledge that they bring to the table is so invaluable that I just think they have to know they can't position themselves. And I'm sorry, when you say you have like a GSEC, which I have, but
Mm-hmm.
it's more entry level, like just maybe a level above Sec Plus or something like that. Like it's really not an advanced cert.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're still putting the same price tag on it, like several $1,000s,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm sorry. The only people that can afford that are either those that have been saving money for God knows how long. So you're not going to get an entry level person that has never been in the military to get that.
Right.
Or they worked IT or sysadmin. They did something for an organization.
And
They
their
needed a
company.
security person and were like, hey, we're going to pay for you to get this cert.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean,
No.
if you have an entry level type cert, it should be at the price
Accessible.
point of somebody that is entry level.
Right. Agreed.
So before we finish, or before we keep going, let's do this last drawing. And I love you guys. I hope one of you wins. Which one of you will win, but we're gonna find out who. Null Zen. Hey, Null Zen, hit me up on Discord.
Nice.
Hit me up on Discord, buddy. You got the last CSD, the last ethical hacking course. So
Very nice.
But yeah, I do. I think that it's a lot of the pricing that is the problem.
Yeah.
It's because the OSCP, the SANS courses, and even some of your other ones out there, when you break that $1,000 price tag, even under $1,000, you're pushing it. But when you break $1,000 for sure, you're no longer asking for an entry level person, because it isn't like they can get a student loan or a grant or some other means to pay for it. They legitimately 9 times out of 10 have to save up and pay for it themselves.
Yeah.
So how can any of those be entry level?
I'm a huge fan of what Heath's doing. Everything from practical ethical hacking through this Privask, OSINT, now movement pivoting and persistence and on. They're like $30 a pop, and if you wait like 2 weeks, they'll be like $15 a pop. And if you can't do that, you just wait a little bit longer. You bug Heath enough on Twitter, and he'll give it away for free. Or tune in. I've got a handful of them.
Yeah.
So and then his cert it's up there. You have to do a whole network, and you have to pivot, and you have to do some Active Directory. That's not, you don't even do Active Directory on OSCP.
No. Well, they should be changing it. The course has AD in it now.
Yeah, it does. But
they really should be changing it, hopefully shortly.
That'll be interesting to see.
To include more of the course material.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a lot of people, and here's the kicker for me. Even when you go through the OSCP, people are like, oh, this is too CTF-ish. What I want people to understand, no matter what certification, no matter what course you're going through, no matter what training you're doing, you're learning something. So regardless of the way in, it's a learning, it's a chance to learn something. B, companies are this stupid. Companies do these things. If you look at, I have spoken to the people that develop the OSCP tests and the exams and the labs and things like that. They are all pen testers.
Yeah.
The stuff they do is shit you see in real life on pen tests. So it's not something that you should be like, oh, this is too CTF-ish. Maybe like if it gets real puzzly, okay, I can kind of get behind that. But I went through all 67 boxes in the OSCP lab. It was more pen test worthy than CTF worthy. You just have to understand that companies are this stupid.
The PWK lab is pretty awesome and extensive and thorough. I think that's where you get the value.
For sure.
Like the 5 boxes on the test, like I got a video. You can go get 25 points real fast. But the others, if you do all 67 boxes, I think it's up now, a few more. You'll learn stuff. You will. Will you be able to write a report? Will you prove that you can do pivoting? I don't know. There's stuff. It's not bad. It's definitely something worth getting, I think, if you are going to be a professional pen tester. Like I would say include it at some point in your milestones. Then again, I say get someone else to pay for it.
Yeah, yeah. So we got a question. So Nalzen says, so in the companies you have both worked for, have you seen any that do not blacklist all people with a background? Wouldn't people with that mindset be valuable to bring in to try and test / catch?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So all
go
Knowles
ahead.
and I was working for the government, for the military, and then as a contractor for the military, and it was clearance based heavily. So if you, it would have been harder for you to get a clearance. With INE, you know that answer. If there was a position, you'd be able to get it. Like your background wouldn't be a hindrance. Your background actually might be really helpful. Have
Yeah,
you applied for that red team job? I say do it.
yeah, and I think that's a big thing. Now that's been my issue with a lot of government positions is the
Mm-hmm.
clearance, and it's depending on the position you're hiring for. You may want to see those charges. You may want to see how they got into places. Yes,
Yeah.
it sucks they got caught, but we can fix that problem. The
Yeah.
fact that they got in the first place to some more
Mm-hmm.
systems that may or may not have been even more secure than you would think.
Yeah.
You want those people, but here's the problem.
Right.
They're not willing to pay those people because
Mm.
unless you're brought in as a contractor, I know SES, DOD, GS, all WB salaries. They're not paying them what they could make to sell secrets on the dark web. They're
Yeah.
not paying them what they can make to go and set out a bunch of phishing emails, get a bunch of credit cards, and sell them on the dark web. They're not
No.
paying them what they could make. So it's a fight we have
Mm-hmm.
within the security industry of are they getting paid? And I think the government suffers from it more so than private industry.
Yes. Wholeheartedly agree. I very much expect an IC or cyber bump. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it would make a lot of sense. Just because they're spending so much on contractors. I know because I applied for like
Well, that was my
very
biggest
high paying
problem
jobs.
with them was when I was active duty.
Hmm.
I was trained, mind you. So my fourth SAN cert hadn't come out yet because I took the beta for Python, which
Right,
is
right,
how I got my fourth one. But three SAN certs, they paid $1,000 to train me,
right.
sent me to Fort Riley,
Hmm.
and then I got told I'm not allowed to do my job because the cyber command or the civilian contractors at the NAC or whatever, they
Hmm.
were the ones that took care of security and took care of this, that, and the third. And I'm like, so then why am I here?
Right.
Why did you just spend thousands and thousands of dollars to train me
Hmm.
to then tell me I can't do my job?
Yeah,
And
dude.
it was
I
one of those
wondered
things.
that going through cyber school
Yeah,
because I got done and I was like, all right. And so when am I like cracking open this? Like, when am I getting on Metasploit? And they're like, no, you don't do that. What do you mean? Like, we spent like 3 weeks on that. I'm not doing any subnetting. It's like, no. What am I doing?
yeah, it's crazy, and I think that's a big problem within our military. It's one of those when I talk funding, and I don't like to bring funding or anything like that up into this, but if we're to just touch on it a hair,
Hmm.
when they talk cutting funding and they talk cutting training, this, that, and a third, I'm like, what about your contractors? What about the people you're paying millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to sit there and do a job that you just trained a bunch of military personnel to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
That one
I,
blows my
I always
mind.
laugh because like all the cuts that they can make to save money, it's like, or you just buy one less F-35.
Yeah.
One.
Just one. Just one.
You want to save $100 million? One
Yeah.
plane.
So
Just delay
back
it a
on
year.
back,
Anyways.
back on the topic of cybersecurity and training and certifications. And there's a big need for it. And that's why I love again, this is why, and I will preach it. That's why I love having you on here because of Cyber
Yeah.
Supply Drop. I love what you're doing with that organization. Um, and the fact that you are essentially giving away free training. In
Yeah.
effect, that's what you're doing. Is companies are giving you vouchers and coupon codes and things like that, where you could say, here, I'm gonna give it to a channel
Mhm.
like we're gonna have for the next few weeks now, thankfully, and we're gonna give
Mhm.
away courses.
Yeah. And
And to touch
individuals.
on another show that I do,
Mhm.
I am a co-host, which I will not be co-hosting next week because I have my father's birthday, but New Battlefields with Cyber Papa
Mhm.
offered to give away some vouchers if you're willing to
Ooh.
work with him on that as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
um
We'll talk
he
later.
and he'll be joining us near the end because we're
Okay.
gonna talk about New Battlefields again.
Sick.
But I the fact that you're willing to do this and have made it possible for so many people that can't get the training or don't
Mhm.
have the money or whatever the case may be, it's downright amazing.
Thanks,
I'm
man.
just so happy to see that somebody has finally stepped up to the plate and not just been giving away their own courses that they develop. They're
Mhm.
actually giving away well-known courses that have been around for ages, for
So
as long as we've been doing things.
this will be like my last long one, but like I got into this because of what I was doing when I was flying C-130s. Um, I didn't create stuff. I didn't like ever. Like, no one called in a slick C-130 when they were in the heat of battle to like take out bad guys. Like soft guys will handle that. But I took convoys off the road
Right.
and sped up like that. Got people within their golden hour from J battle to go to Kabul so that they wouldn't have to convoy to get there. And that ever since I first did that as a co-pilot, it really resonated with me. Like my job is to supply people the stuff they need or speed things along and take them out of like harm's way. And when I stopped flying, I lost a little bit of that myself. When I was at the comm squadron, it was just like everyone wants their email. And I was part of like making sure that everyone got their email or access to the Nipper. And it was a little disheartening. And when I
Yeah.
saw this opportunity to start sharing training, I was like, this is helping people. This is helping people. And then um, Stefan Semmelroth a little while ago was like, hey, what are you doing with this? Are you gonna make it a thing? And Neil Bridges asked me the same thing. He's like, what are you doing? Like this seems like a neat hobby, but where's it going? And that's when I doubled down, got all my interns, a couple of them are on here, and started finding partners to take things and started finding people to supply things. And I am in the middle as a logistical connection between the guys who have stuff and the guys who need stuff. And
Yeah.
that's where I thrive.
Honestly, that's why I'm glad we connected
Yeah.
because I feel the same way. I love giving. I love helping others. I love giving things away. And one of the things, and one of the reasons I started a Patreon,
Mhm.
which I've put it up. Go to CyberWarriorStudios.com. Here, I'll throw it up one more time in the captions. You can go to my website and see every way that you can support the channel. That's Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, Cash App.
Mhm.
If you're more into crypto, I'll give you a wallet address. Also, I take Doge and Bitcoin. But I I really find that I'd love to be able to give more things away. But
Mhm.
right now, all my money goes to the family bills and everything else like that, and then back into here. But here's the
Mhm.
thing: I don't make any money off of this to go back into here, so it's
Yeah.
legitimately my paycheck that go. I can't really
Uh-huh.
give anything. But the fact that I'm
Oh
with you
yeah,
now
I'm
and
making
run that,
nothing.
it definitely helps. So
Yeah.
before
100%.
I bring in Cyber Papa to talk about new battlefields, I do want to mention one thing. Next week, I will be doing two shows. I will be doing a show at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time to bring in the UK guests. So it's going to be my little across the pond special with Paul Charles, JJ Davey, otherwise known as Knox
Ooh,
Cyber,
nice.
and Ben Doherty, who Ben and Paul have both been on the show before. This will be the first time I'm able to get JJ on. So he'll be on next week at 5. And then I do have Cyber Lola coming on at 7. So I will be doing
Perfect.
two shows. So we'll do an hour 5 to 6, and then another hour 7 to 8. So that's what I got going on next week,
Mhm.
and I hope you all can join because I don't know which show I'll be doing a giveaway on, but I'm gonna
Both.
get a code or two from Josh.
Lola is one of my interns, and JJ is one of my giveaway partners. So
Both
I'm gonna
shows.
hook you up with the exact same giveaways as tonight for next week, and then how about like 3 Blue Team Labs online for the show with JJ?
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. And actually, Cyber Papa's gonna talk, and I'm gonna bring him on. I'm gonna step away for a minute to let him give his spiel.
Mhm.
But New Battlefields has been great. We've been on the past 2 weeks. I will not be on it next week as a co-host. But saying that, let me bring Cyber Papa on before I say my goodbyes. Let him give the spiel about New Battlefields and what we got going on. And I will make sure to catch up with you guys here before we leave.
Hello, everybody. Josh, nice
man.
to see you, man. How are you doing?
Good.
Well, okay, so I'm screaming in the back room here because I'm the blue guy. So we do kind of red versus blue whenever we're on here. So if you want to be part of our show as well and do the giveaways on the Cyber Papa's New Battlefields, it's a new show that we started. We're going on the 3rd week now, this next week. We had Alyssa Miller yesterday and a great show. So catch that. It was all about AppSec and how they're doing security champions for AppSec in the environment. Next week, we're going to be doing a great show about people coming into the field, women, minorities in cyber. So it's going to be really, really interesting, and I'm hoping everybody tunes in for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So hopefully we can give away some of the courses as well in our show here, where we normally co-host the show, but next week I'm running it solo. So I'm hoping that everybody that's watching us today in Twitch and YouTube, and I think we're going to Facebook as well right now.
Facebook too.
Wow.
So if you guys are out there, come see it. It's Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in. Don't miss out. Yesterday, like I said, we had an amazing stream on that. So
yeah, definitely. And as you check those out, look, remember, none of us do this for any other reason than to provide something back to the community. Cyber Papa is going to be doing a lot. His show is geared towards the masses, that be general population and the cybersecurity community. A lot of what I do is about getting people into cybersecurity and, what's going on in the world, things of that nature. So, it's different channels for different reasons. And so if you could, please, I beg of you, subscribe, like, comment, everything you can do on any video you like and enjoy extremely helps all of us, as well as we both have Patreon, we both have Buy Me a Coffee, and other ways that you can help support the channels and help get us, give us the ability to keep doing these things, because it's not cheap. And it's very, very time consuming, especially once I start getting more and more into my Tech Tuesday videos and start doing Motivation Monday again. So there's gonna be a lot of content coming your way. Devil Ray Pen Testing, my man, has got some great things coming out too. He has a Patreon. Please go ahead if you can. Pick your favorite. Go ahead, support them, even if it's $5 a month, or a one-time $10. And if you can afford to buy or know anybody within offensive security or any other company and can donate vouchers to Cyber Supply Drop, please do. It is a great cause. It means a lot to me because of the fact that, without my military training, I wouldn't have been able to afford half the certs I have, and I sure as hell wouldn't have been able to get into the career field that I'm in now. But I do love you guys. And Josh, before we go, what is one key takeaway that you can give for anybody, whether it be about certifications, training, Cyber Supply Drop, or just getting into the industry in general? What's one key takeaway you can give them?
So I think the biggest thing anyone can do is to find ways to connect and add value to the community. So if you're showing up here and you're asking questions and you're telling other people to come to the stream, like, that is adding value. if you're making good posts, if you do try Hack Me rooms and you do write-ups and reviews, if you find like a good video, like if you're like, oh man, John Hammond hit it out of the ballpark this week, like share that with people. Like find these things and share them, pay it forward, like help other people however you can. It doesn't have to cost anything. If you can pay it forward, find people that like you believe in, organizations that you want to help like add to, and we're just gonna pass it along to others like you. So
Yeah, definitely, I agree. It's one of the big things, and me and CyberPop have talked about this a lot. One of the biggest things in this community is really coming together as a community.
Correct.
And really sharing what you see. And I get it, as a creator, as somebody in the industry, you really want to take value in what you do. And so you tend to promote a lot of your own stuff because it's yours. One of the things I'm sure has burned me, I'm sure it's why things haven't worked out as great as, maybe I would have hoped, is that because I do promote others. I want people to see Cyber Papa's channel. I want people to see Alpha Cybersecurity and InfoSec Unplugged. I want people to see Cover 6 Solutions or Shannon Morris and, what she has going on. Because I think there's a lot of value in these channels because we all bring something different. Davin and Alpha Cybersecurity has a different, have people on that I've never interviewed, that I've never had a chance to sit down and talk with. So, in the organization as a whole, in what he does is amazing. So I think there's a lot of value to that.
And Tyrone as well. And Tyrone as well.
Oh, yeah. Tyrone for sure. Tyrone just started taking over another Twitch stream. I put it in a Discord earlier. I can't remember what it's called right now. SecCon 202 has a conference or something coming up. I can't remember exactly what it is. I'm sorry. But we're going to connect on Twitter. And we're going to collaborate on some things. Republic of Hackers. We've got a collaboration coming out on Wednesday with Devil Ray Pen Testing and Republic of Hackers. They're doing amazing things.
Crypto Harlem on Twitch.
If you can go ahead, find them on Twitch and subscribe to them.
Yeah, and today's show was just absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. They did an excellent job. And the community of creators that we have around this, we can name 15 of the creators that are just that group of people, and we support each other. We share our stuff on Twitter.
Networks, I think, is one of them. She's on Twitter. She has a TikTok. On TikTok, I think it's Cybersecurity Girl. She has other content she puts out on other mediums. She's another amazing person. She Hacks Purple, I think, is another one that does amazing things, does interviews and talks and helps and things like that.
So we're talking right now. Hopefully, in the next coming weeks, Tanya is going to be in our show as well. So She Hacks Purple and that organization is just amazing.
Yeah, for sure. So that's just some of the things that are in this industry that I think we missed out on, and that people really want to. We tend to come in on ourselves and want to be like, what's best for me? But to me, and I know for sure Cyber Papa, and I know Davin and so many others, what's best for us is helping others and making sure it's best for them. Because we all have a different viewpoint. We all have different opinions. Josh, you have been an amazing guest, and the things that you're doing in industry, I can't speak enough about.
Thanks, man.
And it's not even just as a veteran, as a person, you have found a way to give back in this industry in a way that others have not been able. And I am extremely happy and extremely proud to see that. I'm proud from veteran to veteran. I'm happy as a person that you've been able to do something like that in industry. And it is amazing.
But he's Air Force.
So was I.
You're cool.
Hold on. Wait. There.
Army.
Let me bring it up towards the camera.
This is way awkward.
Yeah.
That was not as cool as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It'd have been cooler if I could figure out my camera and actually.
Dang,
Yeah.
record it.
Yeah,
But no, it is.
last time we did the three-way handshake, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did do that the one day. Three-way handshake. Oh
the
yeah,
three-way
that
handshake.
one was Air Force also. So Eric, look, I think I'm the only one that played both sides of the fence. I went Air Force and Army. So
It's fine.
But at the end of the day, look, this is a community and we really have to build each other up. So
Mhm.
whether it's liking videos, sharing videos, subscribing, following, if you can financially support any of the creators, please do it.
If there's other good training, if there's
Yeah.
people whose like training is accessible or that you want, I'm not giving away any SANS courses. Like I'm just not wasting the time, money.
There's no
but
way
like-
to give away SANS courses.
Yeah. Tell me who you want courses from that you're
Yeah.
like, I can't do $80. I can't do $100, but like if I could, I would want this one. Let me know. I'll go get them.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have a lot of the channels attract a lot of people that want to get into cyber or have been, I'll say it this way, they have been gatekept from being in cyber. So that would be so wonderful for some of our community members that, you know, are always asking us the question, how do I get into cyber? So that's.
Yeah. So on a final note, before we head
Okay,
out,
before you guys have to see what Alpha Cybersecurity just posted.
wait, what did he put up? I gotta see it.
Because I just put chair force and he replied with
All day.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong at all. At all. But I will say this: CyberWarriorStudios and Cyber Papa, Devil Ray pen testing. We have some big things in the works, hopefully to kick off in October. So keep your eyes out. You got to be subscribed. You got to follow us on Twitter. I'm in Republic of Hackers Discord. I have my own Discord server. Cyber Papa is now in Republic of Hackers Discord. Josh, I'm gonna get with you because
I'm on so many of them.
I know
Cyber and security is where I'm usually hanging out.
yeah.
That's fine.
Unless-
I'm gonna get with you though because for what we're doing, I'm gonna need vouchers.
Oh yeah.
So I'll get with you. And saying that, look, Studio Sec is one more. If you're not following Studio Sec,
Yeah.
please do. He's in the YouTube chat. Click on his name. He has his own channel. Follow him on Twitter also. Get a hold of all these people. And I love you guys. You've been amazing. However, it is storming at my house and I don't want to lose power midstream.
Thanks.
So take care. Have a good one. And I'll see you next week for our double episodes.
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys for Cyber Papa's new Battlefield. So tune in Thursday, 7 p.m.
Yes, indeed.
Nice.